In a world that can be harsh and unkind, it's easy to lose sight of what we're designed. We're designed to be brave. We're designed to be bold. We're designed to be strong. We're also designed to rise up when things go wrong. We all face challenges, big and small, and sometimes we stumble and fall. But it's in those moments that we find the strength and resilience that we're meant to shine. So don't give up. Don't lose hope. For every obstacle, there's a way to cope. Believe in yourself and believe in all that you can do. And there's nothing in the world you can't pursue. Embrace the journey. Embrace the pain. For it's through struggles that we gain a greater sense of who we are and the courage to reach for the stars. So let your light shine. Let your heart lead. And never forget that you're all you need. You're all you need to make a difference, to make an impact, and to leave this world a little brighter, intact. So remember, my friend, that you're not alone. And yet you have the power to make your own destiny. So go out there and make it yours, and let your passion and purpose soar. Go ahead. Take that leap of faith and chase your dreams with grace. And grace. For the world is waiting to see the amazing person you were meant to be. I guess let's start from the beginning, right? Hi, my name is Chaz London. Thank you for visiting my channel. This is a recap of my life. I was born and raised in New York, Harlem, New York. It was a different time back in the 80s and 90s, so whoever knows, you know. Was raised by my grandparents, 3 siblings. I have 2 brothers and 1 sister, but that story is going to change pretty soon, pretty later on in this series. My year from 1 through 10 was a pretty harsh one. Um, as you get older, you start realizing the things that you go through, and you start understanding the things that you went through. Most of the things I went through were pretty devastating to anyone with a weak mind. Looking back at it now, yeah, it was hard. My brothers were, well, one of them were part of the Hells Angels, Latin King, and loved driving motorcycles like Harley Davidsons and everything. Loved guns. And I was raised around a lot of that. But my grandparents really didn't want me to shy towards that area. Luckily, I didn't. They pulled me away. I guess they were saving me, from the outer world. They got me anything that I wanted, but they catered to me. I was the youngest out of everyone, the last baby. But yeah, my years 1 through 10 were, it's 80s and 90s. Couldn't go wrong, Go to school, come back from school, watch cartoons, Saturday mornings, wake up just to watch Saturday morning cartoons. This is before the anime phase, obviously. Before I even knew anything about anime. We had Ren and Stimpy, Doug, we had Rugrats, we had the X-Men, we had Sonic. We had Power Rangers. So, before any of that anime beautiness, still had a nice life, Watched Ghostbusters, was infatuated by Ghostbusters, was infatuated with Batman during that time. Ninja Turtles, can't forget about Ninja Turtles. So like I said, my grandparents spoiled me, and they gave me anything I wanted. The time Nintendo came out, the first Nintendo console, they got me that. I got the Duck Hunt and track and Super Mario Brothers triple combo. Man, I fell in love with video gaming ever since. Nintendo was definitely my starter point for video games. Behind the Nintendo phase, as I was playing Nintendo, all I kept hearing was yells and screams. And it wasn't from my grandparents yelling at each other, it was more my brothers just being wild. As I said, one of my brothers were a major gang member. My other brother was more humbled, but he was never in a gang. He was more to himself, but his brother meant everything to him. They ride or died, One of the harder things behind being a kid was not knowing. And, I witnessed a lot of things as a kid, as a child, that I shouldn't have. I mean, both my brothers were into heavy drugs, and as much as they told me to get the fuck out and all this other stuff, I never listened and wanted to see what they were doing, Wondered. One night, they had left the needle out. Well, one of my brothers did. Wasn't sure who did, but I saw material that was used for any type of drug possible. My brothers were wild. They were wild. And very well known in Harlem. Like I said, let me just go back to that Nintendo phase. The reason why I played video games was to take away the pain that was behind it. The yelling, the screaming, like I said earlier, it didn't come from my grandparents fighting with each other. It came from my brothers fighting with them. And it was a very weird time. Drugs take over a lot of your body. You do a lot of stupid shit. And The grandparents didn't like that they were doing that. Obviously, what grandparent or parent would want that, right? So they were getting constant fights, arguments here, arguments there. The only thing I can do was just play video games and drown it out with headphones. Play my was always playing with my CD player or my Walkman. Music and video games took my mind off a lot of things. But like I said, as you get older, you start realizing what those things were. You start telling yourself, wow, you made it. You know? Through years, to 1 through 10, family-wise, it was hard. School-wise, kind of hard, but not really. Whatever I learned at home, I utilized it in school. And that's not something you wanted to do. I started wanting to make my own clique, my own gang, my own everything. Just because I felt like I could. To me, in school, at first, I was just a quiet kid. In fact, I still was a quiet kid all the way through. It's just when I got out of school, that was a different story. When I got out of school, I felt like I ran the streets. I felt like I ran to school afterwards. It was just a lot of things that I feel now were exposures to whatever the household had. But it wasn't years 1 through 10 that were the hardest. We'll get to 10 to 20. Not in this video. Years 1 through 10 were just me being bad and me getting what I wanted. And the background of it all, there was a lot of dark sides of it. As you notice, I haven't mentioned my parents yet. That's because that brother, I kept saying he was just humble to himself and everything else. Well, that brother ended up being my father.